Good day, students. Welcome to this JSS 1 Basic Technology lesson on clay modeling and ceramics. Nigeria has one of the world's oldest pottery traditions. The NECO culture of central Nigeria produced terracotta figurines as far back as 1500 BC, making them among the oldest known ceramic objects in sub-Saharan Africa. Today, Nigerian potters in Abuja, Ilorin, Ekpin, and Kano continue this tradition alongside modern ceramic industries producing tiles, sanitary ware, and electrical insulators. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to define clay modeling and ceramics, describe the types and sources of clay, identify common tools for clay work, describe the main forming techniques, explain the firing and finishing processes, and identify ceramic products in everyday Nigerian life. Let us begin. Definitions. Clay, a fine-grained natural rock or soil material that is plastic, moldable, when wet and hard when dried and fired. Clay is formed by the weathering of rocks containing feldspar and microminerals. Clay modeling, shaping clay by hand or using tools to create objects, pots, figurines, tiles, bricks. Ceramics, objects made from non-metallic, inorganic materials, primarily clay, that are permanently hardened by firing and heating to high temperatures. Types of clay. Earthenware clay, fires at relatively low temperatures, 800 to 1150 degrees Celsius, remains porous unless glazed. Terracotta, red earthenware, is common, used for traditional Nigerian pots, flower pots, roof tiles. The NECO terracottas are earthenware. Traditional Nigerian women potters, Gwari/Gagia women of the Abuja area, Hausa women of northern Nigeria, traditionally use local earthenware clay. Stoneware clay, fires at higher temperatures, 1200 to 1300 degrees Celsius, dense, strong, non-porous, used for functional tableware, drainage pipes. Porcelain/China clay, kaolin, fires at very high temperatures, 1260 to 1400 degrees Celsius, pure white, very hard, translucent, used for fine tableware, electrical insulators, laboratory ware. Nigeria has kaolin deposits in Kogi, Cross River, Borno, and Plateau states. Fire clay, high refractory, heat-resistant properties, used for furnace linings, kiln shelves, fire bricks. Natural clay sources in Nigeria. Nigeria has abundant clay deposits, alluvial clay, river deposits, residual clay, in situ weathering. Major ceramics industries using Nigerian clay: Nigerian Ceramics Ltd., Abuja, Asela, Ekpin Tiles, Joa Ceramics, Enugu. The Federal Institute of Industrial Research, FIRO, has characterized clay deposits across many states. Clay preparation. Wedging, kneading and folding clay repeatedly to remove air pockets and ensure even consistency. Essential, trapped air bubbles expand during firing and explode, destroying the piece. Cut clay with a wire tool to check for bubbles, continue wedging until cross-section is completely bubble-free. Tempering, grog, adding fired clay particles, or grog, or sand to clay to reduce shrinkage and cracking during drying and firing. Clay forming techniques. 1. Pinch method, thumb pot, simplest technique. Take a ball of clay, push thumb into center, pinch walls between thumb and fingers, rotate and pinch evenly to build up the walls. Use for small bowls, cups. The traditional technique of many Nigerian women potters. 2. Coil method, coiling raw clay into long coils, snakes, build up walls by layering coils, pressing each coil firmly to the one below, smooth inside and outside. Can make larger forms than pinching. Traditional Nigerian water pots and cooking pots are often coil-built. 3. Slab method, roll clay into flat slabs using a rolling pin and guide sticks to ensure even thickness, cut slabs to shape and join with slip, clay mixed with water to a creamy consistency used as glue. 4. Throwing, wheel throwing using a rotating potter's wheel to center clay and pull up walls. Requires practice to master, produces symmetrical round forms, bowls, cups, vases, quickly. Traditional in some Nigerian communities, Modern ceramic studios use electric wheels. 5. Press molding, pressing clay into or over a plaster mold to produce multiple identical forms, tiles, plates. Used industrially. 6. Slip casting, liquid clay, slip, poured into plaster molds, plaster absorbs water, leather hard shell forms, excess slip poured out. Used for handles, complex shapes, industrial production, toilet basins, sinks. Drying, air dry slowly and evenly to prevent cracking, cover with plastic to slow drying in hot Nigerian climate. 3 stages, wet, leather hard, can be carved and trimmed, bone dry, fully air dried, fragile, ready for firing. Firing. Biscuit, bisque, firing. Fast firing, 800 to 1000 degrees Celsius, removes chemically combined water, makes clay permanently hard but still porous. Work is now called bisqueware. Glaze firing, second firing, glaze applied to bisqueware, fired to the glaze temperature, glaze melts and fuses to surface forming a glassy, waterproof, decorative coat. Kiln types, wood kiln, traditional, pit firing, common in rural Nigeria, electric kiln, modern ceramic studios, schools, gas kiln, commercial. Traditional pit firing, pots placed in a pit or on the ground, covered with combustible material, grass, wood, dung, fired at lower temperatures, produces characteristic dark markings. Glazing and decoration. Glaze, mixture of silica, flux, and alumina, melts at kiln temperature to form a glassy surface. Applied by dipping, pouring, or brushing. Colored with metallic oxides, iron oxide, brown/amber, cobalt oxide, blue, copper oxide, green. Underglaze, color applied before the glaze coat, protected and sealed by the glaze. Slip decoration, colored slip applied to leather-hard clay, carved through to show clay beneath, sgraffito technique. 3 examination questions. Question 1. Describe the pinch pot method step by step. Step 1. Wedge the clay thoroughly to remove air bubbles. Step 2. Roll clay into a smooth ball, about tennis ball size for a small pot. Step 3. Hold the ball in one hand, push the thumb of the other hand into the center to about 1 to 2 centimeters from the base. Step 4. Pinch the wall between thumb inside and fingers outside. Rotate the ball and continue pinching evenly around the circumference. Step 5. Walk up the walls gradually, each rotation makes the walls slightly thinner and taller. Step 6. Maintain even wall thickness, about 5 mm, smooth inside and outside surfaces. Step 7. Place on a board to air dry slowly before firing. Question 2. Why is wedging essential before any clay forming? Wedging removes air bubbles from the clay. If clay with air pockets is fired, the trapped air expands rapidly as the kiln heats up. The sudden expansion causes the piece to crack or explode violently inside the kiln, destroying not only that piece but potentially surrounding work in the kiln as well. Wedging also ensures the clay is at a uniform consistency throughout, no hard lumps mixed with soft areas, which is important for even drying and forming. Question 3. Explain the difference between bisque firing and glaze firing. Bisque firing is the first firing, approximately 800 to 1000 degrees Celsius, that permanently converts clay into a hard, ceramic material by driving off chemically combined water and chemically transforming the clay minerals. After bisque firing, the piece is still porous, it absorbs glaze well. Glaze firing is the second firing, at or above the glazer's melting temperature, during which the applied glaze melts, flows, and fuses to the bisqueware surface to create a smooth, glassy, waterproof decorative coating. 2 firings allow for repair, trimming, and glaze application between stages. 3 common mistakes. Mistake 1. Drying clay too fast. In Nigeria's hot climate, clay dries very quickly when exposed to sun or dry wind. If the outside of a clay piece dries faster than the inside, the outer surface shrinks and cracks form. Always dry clay in the shade, covered loosely with plastic sheeting, and rotate the piece regularly so all sides dry at the same rate. Mistake 2. making joints without slip. When joining two pieces of clay, for example, attaching a handle to a pot, both surfaces must be roughened, scored with a tool, and slip applied before pressing together. Slip chemically bonds the two pieces. Without slip, joint parts separate during drying or firing because smooth clay surfaces do not bond by pressure alone. Mistake 3. Loading pieces in the kiln before they are completely bone dry. Even a tiny amount of moisture remaining in clay will turn to steam rapidly in the kiln. The steam pressure can crack or explode the piece. Always ensure all work is bone dry, allowed to air dry for at least 24 to 48 hours in a warm space before placing in the kiln. Summary. Ceramics, objects from clay permanently hardened by firing. Nigerian heritage, NECO terracottas, 1500 BC, Gwari/Gagia women potters, Kano, Iket Ekpin, Abuja traditions. Clay types, earthenware, low fire, porous, traditional pots, stoneware, mid fire, dense, porcelain/kaolin, high fire, white. Nigeria has kaolin deposits. Preparation, wedge to remove bubbles. Forming, pinch, simplest, coil, traditional large pots, slab, flat sheets plus slip joints, throwing, wheel, symmetrical, press mode, slip casting. Drying stages, wet leather hard bone dry. Firing, BECE, first, makes ceramic permanent, glaze, second, waterproof glossy coat. Kills, pit, traditional Nigeria, electric, gas. Decoration, glaze, dip/pour/brush, underglaze color, slip decoration, sgraffito. For homework, A. Describe the coil method step by step. B. Why is the NECO culture important to Nigerian ceramic history? C. What is the difference between earthenware and porcelain? Attempt a quiz on your LMS. Nigeria's clay tradition stretches back 3,500 years. Honor it and build on it. Visit Litech Academy at academy.litech.com.ng. Until next time.